People who kill often know one thing: this can get addictive. For me, the reason is simple: to take their children. The obedient ones stay with me, the disobedient. You know what happens? My wife and I usually go to resorts to look for targets. First, I find an excuse to start a conversation, like borrowing a chair just to make a first impression. Then I set up a second encounter, use common topics to get closer. Once we're familiar, I invite them over to my house. Take this couple in front of me, we've already gotten close. At dinner that night, I drank too much. Through the haze, I felt someone stealing my keys. But I acted like I didn't notice, waiting for them to be returned. Sure enough, it was my adopted son who took them. I pretended to know nothing, carried him on my back to play outside. At the same time, I gave him the chance to quietly put the keys back. While playing catch, I deliberately walked near the shed, and just as I expected, the basement door had been touched. It meant my targets had already sensed the truth, so I let them leave on purpose, then staged chaos to lure them back. The thrill of toying with prey, it's beyond words. When I locked the iron gate of the yard, it meant there was no escape. After all, 7 families before them had already been destroyed. What surprised me more was that this couple had $200,000 in savings. I forced the woman to transfer the money to my account. And as for what comes next, that's my favorite part.
After my daughter told me the truth, fear gripped me, but I stayed calm and hid a small knife on me. When Jack came to inject animal tranquilizer, I slashed Jack across the face. While she froze, I grabbed the shotgun. Annis quickly hid the syringe. I aimed at Jack, but missed. I quickly slashed her arm with a knife and grabbed the gun away. We ran outside. My husband locked them in the warehouse. We thought we were safe, until a car blocked the road. No words, just gunfire. They had an accomplice. We rushed back to the living room, trying to call the cops. But the phone lines were cut, and the warehouse was open. We locked the door with furniture. I racked my brain for a way out. That's when I saw a house photo on the wall. I realized there was an attic window, away into the forest. Suddenly, the power went out. Jack stormed the front. His wife came up from the basement. The accomplice crept in from the attic. I grabbed a bottle of strong cleaner. This stuff was lethal up close. I hid the kids in the closet. My husband ambushed upstairs, and I stood guard in the room. I found a fork. Maybe it'd help. Jack shouted as he bashed the door. I held it tight, but he was too strong. The moment the door cracked open, I stabbed his hand with a fork. He yanked back, screaming, but footsteps came behind me. I locked another door. It wouldn't hold. I ran. Jack kicked in, letting his wife in too. Double the danger! He heard a noise in the closet. He thought the kids were inside, but it was just a phone, playing a recording of my breathing. I seized the chance, sprayed cleaner all over his face, and bolted with the kids. We ran into the accomplice. He fired, hitting only a mirror. My husband lunged, but he was no match. I smashed his skull with a hammer. One down. We climbed to the attic. Jack's wife followed. I hid, then smashed a tile over her head. She fell to her death. Another down, but the ladder collapsed. We couldn't get down. My husband gave me one last look, then jumped. He broke his leg, but cleared a path for us. But Jack quietly grabbed Dennis, who was the first to go down. My husband dropped the gun. I begged him not to hurt her.
You think I'm gonna hurt her? But I promise you both, we'll look after each other.
At that moment, Anna stabbed him with a syringe. He collapsed, paralyzed. I didn't plan to kill him, but Ant snapped. He grabbed a brick and bashed Jack's head over and over. Years of pain and trauma poured out. Oh my God. He had suffered more than anyone could imagine.